spectator a little camera shy. So here it was, the last leg before the finish. The K1s came down together, with Chris Grief out in front again, through a kilometre of really rough water, with no easy path to follow. The boats were bouncing about as if they were moving over corrugated egg boxes. After 6 days, the sprint boats had proved they had mastered the wild water sections. But the river racers came into their own on this last rapid. Jürgen Gerlach races down over tumbling peaks and troughs. Gerlach, an outstanding German paddler, shows his class on this section as he times each stroke to perfection. The Northern Ireland pair of Dewar and Broadway and the Canadian came down the middle of the rapid, bouncing like a cork. But they hit an exploding wave which burst across the deck and flipped them over. It was a long swim down the rapid, but they managed to stay with the boat all the way down and restart at the bottom. The remaining competitors came through at 1 or 2 minute intervals, fighting to keep upright in the boiling water. The rescue boats were kept very busy on this rapid, as they had been on several of the rough water sections earlier in the week. One of the rescue canoes notched up his successes with a chalk mark on the side of his boat. 6 K1s and 2 C2s. Not bad for one day's work. Safely through is number 11, Davis of Britain, in a wild water boat. It's only minutes to the end, and the leaders are already racing for the line in the centre of Tornio. Chris Grief powers his way to the finish, just ahead of young Eric Clays. With only yards to go, Clays was within a boat length of taking the last stage. But the strength of Grief never let up, and he crossed the line 4 seconds ahead of the game young Belgian. The town of Tornio opened their doors and their hearts to the canoeists. The welcome was tremendous. Not only to see the final spectacle, but when everyone had rested, typical Finnish hospitality was showered upon the competitors, culminating in a civic reception. The overall winner, Christian Grief, won outright 5 of the 6 stages, beating his nearest rival by 18 minutes on aggregate time. He was one of the most experienced canoeists in the field, not only of marathon racing, but also in the wild water. He's much respected by fellow canoeists all over Europe. Eric Clays, who took 4th place, recorded a remarkable achievement for one so young. Robin Belcher, 3rd place. Lot Kinch just out of the medals, but a great achievement for Great Britain, with Bob Campbell taking a superb 2nd place, despite the blistered hands. The results of the first great Arctic canoe race are now in the record book. Because the idea to inception was just a few short months, the next Arctic canoe race will give more time for paddlers from the continents of America and Australasia to plan a trip to Europe. There can be few places in the world that can offer such a variety of canoe water in such idyllic surroundings. This has been the greatest yet for the cream of Europe's canoeists. The venture was assured of success right from the start, when the suggestion of an Arctic race first became known to the canoe fraternity. The overall winners of the K1 and C2 classes receive a prize in gold to the value of 10,000 Finnmarks. Christian Grief of Belgium, the overall winner of the 1983 Arctic Canoe Race. In second place, Bob Campbell, and third, Robin Belcher. Winner of the wild water class, Walter Grotus from West Germany. And the C2s, the Finnish pair, Jalaja and Peltonen. In second place, the Swedes Bacchius and Owen. In the years to come, it's likely the emphasis will be on a K2 class, though this in no way detracts from the achievement of the C2 crews over the past few days. The river racers have acquitted themselves with distinction, but they have proved to be too slow in the flat water. The only girl to complete the course was Dominique Ardouin, a tousle-headed young French girl. Completely bemused with all the attention she's receiving, but loving every moment. She paddled a sea kayak for over 60 hours during the 460 kilometers of the race and completed every stage. All those round her were delighted with her success, as she was herself. A pensive Bob Campbell might well reflect on the result. He came to Finland as an outsider, but believed he had enough experience to win, and nearly did. Kinch and Clays paddled well into 4th and 5th place. But for those who just completed the race, it was a great achievement. The blistered hands. Oh boy, those sore and aching limbs. And there were those that just couldn't go another stage. Tendon problems, diagnosed as tenosynovitis. Throughout the race, there was a marvelous atmosphere. Music, dancing and singing at every nightly stop. For those who participated, it was an experience none of them will ever forget. This great Arctic canoe race could well become a classic.